Turn me up. This is
coming to you from the heart of the Pacific. Brought to you by Paulie by Design.
respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role model every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika Podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Naki and Carl.
What's up, Neki?
What's up, Carl?
Another Sunday, another show.
Another show.
Got a lot to talk about. Basically, today our check-ins are probably going to be the whole show because we got a lot to talk about this last week. Of course, we're going to talk about vaccination because that's what's important right now. And there's some COVID news out there that people need to be aware of. So we'll talk a little bit about that. It's our fifth season of episode 39. Been going since 2017. And I don't think we thought we'd be around in 2018 when we started in 2017. But we are going to have our check-ins. We're going to talk a little bit about the Prime Minister situation in Samoa.
Tiny
bit about that. We're gonna give you our gripes. We've got our I think we called them pet peeves last week. We're going to talk about our gripes this week, but mainly we're going to talk about all the things that we got to do this week and the amazing people that we got to share it with. That's our show today. Naki, what's good?
Good morning. So this week we headed to, Wednesday, we headed to Oregon for Leah Boasa and Dr. Tai Fatleava's nuptials, their wedding. Nuptials. And so, oh gosh, just so much. We drove because we had meetings along the way, and we stopped in Grants Pass to take a nap.
Yeah, basically we wanted to get up there early enough to hang out with Malo, and we didn't want to leave at stupid o'clock in the morning on Thursday and then be all wore out by Thursday night. And we wanted to make sure that we had plenty of room for error, so we left on Wednesday. We got halfway up, stopped in Grants Pass, had amazing food.
Crazy amazing food.
We always have crazy amazing food.
I ate all weekend long.
And wherever we go, we went to this little hole-in-the-wall bar and grill.
Julie's, something like that.
I think it's Julie's or Julia's. And it was right next to the hotel. And they had a great burger. I mean, it was your basic burger, but the meat was fresh.
It was really good.
Wasn't, they roll their patties from themselves. They get their meat locally. And that was really cool. But what was the most cool was the playlist that they had when we were in there.
Yes.
Song after song, Naki and I were like, damn. We actually end up when we paid, you ask, what is this playlist? Because the songs that we're playing, and we did this all weekend long. We were in our heads on our playlist. We'll talk about that a little bit later, about groups that we listen to. But I think this really kicked off the whole nostalgia flash with the music.
Yeah, it was really good. So we had a great dinner at that place in Grants Pass. And then the next morning we headed up to Portland to meet with Malo. We had lunch and, of course, discussed business, Naopo business. And so Malo is the new and first executive director for Naopo, which is crazy amazing. And so we met Malo and had lunch at
Grinds with Triz,
which is I don't know, Hawaiian.
It's
Pacific
a
Islander.
local. I would call it local.
Yeah.
They had all kinds of different chicken.
Oh my God!
I had cracked chicken.
Good. You had cracked chicken. I had garlic shrimp and poke. You could mix the plates.
Spicy poke,
which was still good. And then Malo had the ono chicken, and then I took a piece of chicken off of his plate. It was so freaking good. That place was really good. And so we hung out there, talked, a little bit about Naopo and
direction.
Right.
Where's he going to take the organization?
Right.
And we also got to see how it happens that you see all these cool food booths at different events.
Right.
Malo was working the business to attend because one, the food's really good. Two, when you get to one of those big events, you get your name out there.
Yes.
And I think that was one of Malo's concerns is making sure that our Pacifica businesses get out there. And we got to see the what I would call it, the creation of them being at the event.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I loved, and then we drove past the Utopia PDX building, just so we could say we were there. And then, it was freaking beautiful. I mean, they're in the building, the train.
It's like the station or the roundhouse or.
It is beautiful. I took a picture of it just so I could see it. Oh, the bride is checking in on Facebook.
We got all kinds of things to talk about. The Poasa Fa'aleava family union.
We'll go into detail in a minute, but
good morning,
Good morning to Mrs. Fa'aleava. Need to change your name on Facebook, by the way. Pauline White is on. Good morning family. Our Maury is on, who is currently moving back to the Bay Area from Washington.
Gonna drive the same I-5.
We just drove,
forever.
And then my dance partner and one of my dance partners from the wedding, Lena Manuleleua, is on. So good morning, Lena. Family. So yeah, we had our meeting there. The food I ate all weekend, or however the whole time we were gone, I ate and drank. So I ate and drank. So this week I'm back on it.
There's a Monday every week. And
yes.
This one's going to include Naki getting her food clean?
Yes.
Nice.
I know every Sunday I say this, but for real. So, So we hung out with Malo for a while, which he was so generous with his time. So I really appreciate that.
He actually attended a Naopo meeting from our table.
Right.
And then he busted himself out on the Naopo meeting the next night. I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't realize it was that meeting. I didn't realize it was that specific meeting until we were in our meeting on Thursday with Naopo. And then they were talking about this meeting where everybody was in it. And then it dawned on me, oh, that was the meeting that Malo was on when we were at lunch.
Yes.
I wasn't going to say anything. But Malo busted it out and said, I have to admit that I was actually eating with Naki and Carl.
Yeah.
While doing the presentation.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But that's what we do, right? We multitask and do whatever Nia asks us to do. And so I got a Utopia PDX t-shirt from Malo. So I'm wearing it now. Thank you. And then after that, we went back to the hotel because we had meetings, I believe, and we had to go through our email. I mean, we were sitting in the hotel.
We had our Wayfinders Koviki talk show.
Right. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. I mean, it was a good show, but it was so funny because, we had Koviki Talk, Wayfinders Lens, their point of view of what they think of the pandemic.
The younger guys.
Yes. And what they think of the pandemic and the vaccination. And JR, Kiona, hosted that show for us. And he had guests on, which were Johnny Nino and Amaya and Lazarus. So they spoke about the vaccination pandemic, and it was a good show. The most funniest part, which you have to go watch it, but I'm just going to tell you this part, that Johnny didn't believe in COVID, which is awesome, it's for them to have that conversation because people believe that, and it's his opinion and stuff like that. And, JR was like, okay, that's cool, dude. That's your opinion. Good for you for coming on this platform and taking a stance on what you believe in. And then like 2 minutes later, JR was like, but you got the vaccine, didn't you?
You got laced up.
You got laced up. We were dying laughing just because, JR
that's
put it so funny.
What we had asked them to do is chop it up like you would
Yes.
if it were just, y'all sitting in a, I don't know, in a garage
Yes.
at a barbecue, like
Right.
in a backyard. Like, just chop it up minus any of the curse words that might be
Right.
thrown in there.
Yeah, so,
and that
yeah.
point right there was exactly how you get at your partner. You get at
Right.
your ride or die. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you don't believe in it, but you still got the vaccine, huh?
Yeah.
So I like the interaction.
Yes.
There was a ton of technical difficulties making sure that people's connection was good. Mena worked tirelessly to
Try to fix
get
the audio
get the audio and get
and get
people
it in and
into
out,
the
and
show.
yeah, it
So
was really good.
We
I mean,
struggled
that
a little
happens.
bit with the technical things, but the conversation that was really
Yes.
refreshing.
Yeah. So that, go check that interview out on YouTube and Facebook and listen to their stories and their points of view. So it was awesome.
So yeah, coming out of Malo's meeting, we had that at 5, and then we had the Naopo meeting at 7. So it was a pretty busy day on Thursday,
Right.
because we were getting from Grants Pass to Grinds with Triz
Yeah.
to Koviki Talk to the Naopo meeting. So
Yeah.
it was a
So
busy day.
towards there was 10 minutes left in the Koviki Talk show, and everything was going great. So I had text Leah and I was like, "Hey, we're here. We're in meetings." And she was down in the venue because we stayed in the hotel where the wedding and the reception was. So I ran down there to go see her and her. They were, decorating and helping putting stuff together. Tama was there, which, by the way, Tala, who is Ty's dad, he's a pastor, and his wife, Samoa, they looked incredible, And real quick, I know we're going to go into details, but I said this before, that Samoa looks so young, right? Like she at the wedding, she
got younger.
Oh my God, she looks so beautiful. She was stunning.
She looks younger every event we go to. I'm just like, I don't know what, if you got the fountain of youth, share that.
Yes.
Right? Give us a sip, because she was amazing.
She looked amazing. When she came down the aisle, I was like, look at Tina. She looks so, she's beautiful, but she was like crazy beautiful that day. And then, So she was down there. Ono, who is the groom's sister, they were helping out, and Bucket, who is Leah's best friend, and just a handful of them. I peeked into the reception area. It was so beautiful. Everything was beautiful. So I snuck there, and then went back to our meeting, Opal meeting that we had, and that was Thursday pretty much. Oh, then later on, we went downstairs to the bar and grill, kind of.
Oh, the lounge area.
Yeah, the lounge area, and they have plant-based food and alcohol. But we had a burger that was plant-based.
That was a delicious burger.
We split it in half because we had so much food earlier with Malo. But we split
But we
it in
had to
half.
make room for more food.
Right, and it was their first day of opening because of COVID, which really, the cook came out, or the owner, I'm not really sure. He came out and greeted us and noticed that we ordered a cheeseburger, or a burger.
With 2 plates.
With 2 plates, and we split it in half. And he said, this is our first night of COVID. We'd love to give you 2 burgers instead of 1. And we were like, it was too much. We just want that 1, and we split it. So they were really nice. The staff there was incredible. We stayed at the Sentinel.
Yeah.
And so we hung out there and ate, and I drank and ate. And then the next morning, what did we do? It was wedding day. We went to go look for
Cheryl's.
breakfast. Oh my God.
So we come downstairs, and this is just the way that this is how you PBD. You get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you get on your phone and do all the social media stuff. And I think it was, by the time it was like, I don't know, 8:30.
Yeah.
It felt like we'd been up forever, and it was definitely time to eat. So my idea was, let's just go down to the lobby, and they're going to have breakfast down there. We got down there, and there was no restaurant was open in the hotel.
It was too early, yeah.
And this is one of the things that I went on to Sentinel's website. They had sent me a survey. They were, from the moment we parked at the curb and got out, and from the greeting of the valet, and then the valet was the last person we saw on the way
Yeah.
out. So everything in between those two moments was amazing at that hotel.
Right. Yeah,
like
everything
the
was
staff
perfect.
was amazing. The people at the reception were amazing. It was a really good team there. If you get a chance
Right.
to stay at the Sentinel in downtown Portland, highly recommended.
Yeah.
They don't have breakfast, or at least they didn't at 8:30 in the morning.
It opened at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and it was too early.
And we were
we were
ready.
hungry.
So I went to the front desk and they said, "Oh yeah, Cheryl's is like literally like a block and a half away," and they gave us the directions. And honestly, when I was walking out, I was like, "Why don't you have breakfast?" And I was that lazy. I was kind of irritated that they didn't have breakfast in the hotel. We got to Cheryl's, and that was so. I've been to New Orleans, I don't know, 20 times. I've been to Bourbon Street. I've been all over Louisiana and had beignets at a lot of different places. We didn't even know Cheryl's served beignets until we had already ordered and got our coffee. And then this waitress just walks by and goes, "Oh, here you go," and set it down. And I was like, "They have beignets here?"
Yeah.
And not only do they have beignets there, they're delicious.
Yeah.
They're as good as anything that I've had in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was really good. I even mentioned to them that we just came back from New Orleans, and the beignets that we had at Cheryl's was freaking amazing. So you got to go there. So I check in on Facebook that PBD is at Cheryl's, in Portland, and and I'm reading, Ty is on Facebook, so we check in and we have I check in on Facebook, and Leah says, "How long are you going to be there?" "I'm going to be there. I was going to surprise you guys," and I seen the message.
I was going to crash your breakfast.
20 minutes later, I didn't see the message till 20 minutes later, and she texted me and said, "I was on my way there because you checked in. I was going to crash your breakfast." But in the meantime, while she was texting me this, the groom was in line, was getting breakfast there
So,
with the best man, John.
I'm staring out the window because from where I'm sitting, I can see the front door, and I'm looking outside, and it's one of those things where you're kind of spacing out. And as I, kind of focus in on outside the door, I realize, hey, there's a Samoan guy out there. And then I look a little closer, and I'm like, it's Ty. And we're both waving at each other like, "Hey, what's up?" But that was one of those things that just cracked me up for that. And that was from way across the entire restaurant. He was actually outside the building, and Pacific Islanders still find Pacific Islanders by looking at each other.
Yeah, it was awesome. So then I text Leah and I said, do not come to this. Do not come to Cheryl's. Ty is here and you can't see the groom on the day of your wedding. And she said, "Oh, I was walking there and she's got a glimpse of him," and then she took off and left.
Ran, right?
She ran away. So good thing. Good morning to Mark, brother Mark, who's on Facebook watching live. Thank you for tuning in. So we had breakfast there, and then I was so glad that we found that place, because then we went back again yesterday before we left. So it was crazy amazing. Like, I ate all weekend long.
Yeah,
I had
Portuguese fried rice.
Yes.
And that was amazing. I just minus the green onions, and after that it was fried rice with bacon, egg,
sausage,
linguiça,
Yeah.
Portuguese sausage. And Naki orders this thing she can't even pronounce. So she's looking at the menu and she's like, "Ooh," she knew immediately what it was. And I go, "Well, what is it?" And she's like,
croquet monsieur. Croquet monsieur.
After the waitress got there,
Yeah.
Naki got it figured out. And there was some sauce on there. You didn't even know what it was. What was it that drew you to that? Because you couldn't pronounce it and you didn't know what the sauce was.
It had a cheesy hash browns, and then it had this Gruyere or something like that sauce, which I knew it was going to be a cheesy thing. So, and I love saucy, cheesy, anything.
And we ended up ordering the two most. Those
were the two popular things.
Yeah.
So it's like a grilled cheese on a sourdough bread with ham and cheese, and then they have this layer of cheesy sauce. It was so good. And then I had cheesy hash browns. And then usually I'll take food. I'll go, "Oh, I didn't finish it because it was too big." And then I said, I usually take food, box it, and take it home, put it in the refrigerator. And if nobody eats it, it sits there forever. So I took it back to the hotel and I ate it. which I was surprised that I ate it again. I finished it. And then yesterday I ordered the same thing before we left. And I just took a couple of bites. I could possibly have been hungover. I'm not sure.
It's a possibility?
It's a possibility. So I took a couple of bites and then I boxed it. And then I ate it on the road. It was still good. Even cold, it was still good. So
I did the same thing with the fried rice. I was scooping it into to-go box. And Naki goes, "Are you really going to eat that?" Because I'm the same way. I don't know what it is, but I feel guilty about leaving food on the table when I leave a restaurant. And to be honest, a lot of times I take it outside and I either leave it in my car or I throw it away. But I feel weird about not eating or leaving a whole bunch of food there. So I'll always get it boxed up to go. If it'll travel well and I'm going to get home, I know my two 22-year-old Samoan boys will make quick work of whatever food I bring home.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing there. I was just scooping it up. I didn't know if I was going to eat it or not. Got back into the room, I don't know, a couple hours later, just killed the rest of it. And it was just as good then as it was there. So the next day, we wake up and, now I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get to the wedding.
Oh, so Malo is on. Good morning, Malo. I have the T-shirt you gave me on.
That is on right now.
And Malo is headed to a 10:30 meeting, of course.
Of course you are.
Good morning, Sister Adele is on.
Morning, Adele.
Fia. Good morning, Fia. So these are people that are checking in on Facebook. But where was I? Oh, so I had my sandwich and we headed back. But yeah, I lost my train of thought.
And then there was an event that night. There was an event at 5 o'clock that we were there for.
Yes.
That might have been the wedding.
Yes, that was the wedding. Of course, we get ready at the hotel and we go downstairs at 4:30 because the wedding starts at 5. And Leah knows we're anal about time. So we get down there, we get to the wedding, and everybody just looked beautiful, and we hadn't seen Leah yet. I did see Ty running around a little bit. I got a peek of him, but and so we get in, and the first people we see is Kalia and Manu Muasau, who is like they came in from the Bay Area, and so we sat behind them, and just Levi Puasa, who is Leah's brother, who's a musician, a famous musician from Maui, flew in, him and his girlfriend, and he played the music during the, I don't know what you call it.
The seating time.
The seating time.
Having a seat.
He played the music. I mean, it was very beautiful, and it was so touching to me to see that her brother was, playing the music. So it was very, I don't know. I just loved it. I love seeing that. And then then Malo came in, and Malo is the executive director of Utopia, currently going to be the executive director for Naopo.
And Malo wasn't there with us.
Yeah.
Malo ended up being a +1.
Yes.
For her niece at a 11th hour.
Right.
Which was interesting because Leah wanted to meet Malo so bad.
Right.
That she wanted to go to our lunch with us the day before.
Oh, yes.
At Granville Triz, and we were like, "No, you're lucky for you. Malo is actually a +1 at your wedding." But that was a big thing for Leah to meet Malo, and so Malo ends up at the wedding that we came up to see, because we've been planning to hook up for months.
Yeah,
because we knew we were going to be there, and we end up sitting in the same row at the same wedding.
Yes. So that was so Malo is sitting next to us. Then, of course, Dr. Vika Paleta comes in, and then, Faunga comes in with Ruby. He's the VP of, San Francisco school board, you know what I mean? And so we're sitting there, and at one point I'm watching people come in, Dr. Vui Fa'aleava, who is Tama's brother, professor at Portland University. And so, good morning, Vince. And so I'm sitting here in the wedding, while the wedding hasn't started yet, because the bride was a little late. But I'm sitting there, and I was like in awe of all the freaking people, the amazing people that were there. Like, we were Like
Yeah,
there
we were
were
going through. We're like, look, sitting right in front of us is a doctor to be.
Yes.
Like he's closing in on his doctorate.
Right.
And oh, by the way, former NFL player.
Yes.
I mean, like
yes.
that's something that actually I'm really interested in, is that he is who he is first.
Right.
And then it's by the way, he did play in the NFL.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like
yes.
that's amazing, because a lot of people, that's where they, their crowning achievement
Yep.
in life is some professional sports moment. So
No,
sitting
not
right in
his.
front of us is a doctor in like months.
Well, he's studying
That's what I'm
Psych
saying.
D.
In a few months, he's a doctor to be. He's
Right.
on his path to
Right.
be a doctor. Holds a master's.
Doctor of Clinical Psychology at John F. Kennedy University. So he's there with his wife. So the
Dr.
groom,
Palaita.
Dr.
There's another
Palaita.
doctor.
So the pastor, Tama, he translates English to Samoan and Samoan to English for, is it Stanford University?
He's in the public. He is a linguist, and he taught at Stanford.
There you go.
He's an interpreter.
That's
About Matai, Faifeao. I mean, he has a lot of hats.
it. Yeah.
And the list is just long.
Yeah.
I mean,
So just the groom, he has a Matai title, Mulia Nga Sisila, Doctor Fafatai Fatleava. The bride is working on her master's degree. The mother of the groom has
got
her
her master's.
just got her master's and works for the San Francisco School District in San Francisco. Who else?
Ties, Matai.
Yes, Ono, the groom's sister, Ono, is graduated from college and is a speaking Matai. Who else? Dr. Professor Vika Palaita, who is, works for the City College of San Francisco and also created, the PI studies there at City College. And then, just crazy, amazing people there. So, the bride's brother, Levi Poasa, is a musician, and her mom was a teacher. And so it's just, I was sitting there going, freak, we're sitting
Right.
here with like an elite crowd, like an elite crowd. So it was kind of amazing to be in this room with amazing energy. And so so then the bride comes out, and first the parents, her mother and stepfather came out, and they were introduced, and then her stepmother, everyone looked beautiful, so handsome.
The flower girls
The
were
flower
having a great
girls.
time coming down the
Yes,
aisle.
they were so cute. They're they walked down they were just, and they were tossing those flowers. So
What I loved was there were so many, and you were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many Samoan ladies in the aisle telling them, "You're doing great, baby."
Yes.
I mean, there's so much
Oh, yeah.
encouragement as they were
Yeah.
going down there, and you could see moments where they're like, "Am I doing this? Like, am I
Yeah.
doing this?"
They were
right?"
doing so good.
And so many people were like,
Yes.
"You're just doing. You're doing awesome."
So that's the groom, Ty, his cousin, Evoli. Those were her two daughters, and they walked. They were so cute. And then who else? Tina walked down. Her son Mel walked her down. And then Bucket looked beautiful. Bucket is Leah's maid of honor and best friend.
Bucket, who is currently making the travel, the hike, and hike is a bad
Yes.
word because it's from literally the border of Mexico and the United States in Southern California to the border of Canada in the
Right.
United States in
It's
northern
the-
Washington. She's walking the entire length of the United States.
Right. Crazy amazing. So
And she took a break.
she got off the trail.
She got off the trail, took a break. She's, went to the wedding, and then she goes straight back to the spot that she was on.
Yeah.
Like me, I'd like take a shortcut and let me
Yeah.
cut in a couple 100 miles north. But she's going straight back to wherever she was camped out before to continue her hike. And she's done this. She did this for the bridal party,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She did. She's done this a couple times where she leaves the spot she's on,
Right.
comes and is there for Leah and for the process, and then back to that trail.
Yeah.
And she's trying to
That's
get
awesome.
through, I think it's the Siskiyou Mountains. There's a mountain range she's got to get through before winter because she wants to be up over the elevation and back down
Right.
the other side. It's crazy. And she's just the one to get done. She's just the one to complete that.
Yeah, so it was crazy, crazy amazing. And she's crazy amazing for getting off trail. Of course, for her best friend, John, who came in from the Bay Area, was Ty's best man. Everything about the wedding was so beautiful and so personal. Their vows, Leah's vows were pretty funny. Ty's were very nice. I mean, everything was beautiful. They did a great job. I was grateful and honored to be a part of their, witnesses to witness them get married. So Leah was stunning. Like, she's beautiful anyway, but that day she just was glowing. So
You never see her done up.
yeah, you never seen her
She's
done.
always like in the garden,
Yes.
dirt under her fingernails, because she just does like. And Tamal was telling funny stories.
Yeah.
At the reception, he was talking about he was happy to have her there, not the groom, at the house when they're doing the projects, because he's the boss.
Yeah.
Tamal was saying, I'm the boss. So one day I'll bring out the hammer and I'll put it down out there. And the next day I'll bring out the nail and I'll put it out there. And he goes, but then when Leah comes, Leah's the boss. And,
Yeah.
and he goes, we get it all done that day.
In one day. So yeah, it was awesome. Everything about the wedding was beautiful. We get to the reception and it's a one-man band.
Yeah.
It literally was a one-man band. And he was really good. Like,
So
he did a
different
great
range of
job.
music.
Yes.
Like classic rock to R&B.
Right.
Top
to
40.
Motown. I was like, what? What? And then he started playing music. I was like, okay, Portland. So it was really good. He did a great job. There was a lot of dancing. The food was really good.
I had Nutella for the first time.
Yes.
First time ever.
Yes. Yeah. So Leah's favorite thing in the world, besides Thai, is Nutella. And the gift bags or the favors were a little bottle of Nutella, hand sanitizer with their name on it, and then a mask with the date. And it was very cute. But I was cracking up when I seen the Nutella. So it was so her, because she loves Nutella. So it was really good.
I didn't know what it was when I was eating it. I was eating it and I was like, okay, that's the frosting. That's the cake. What is that stuff? It tastes good. But
Yes.
unbeknownst to me, I was eating my first Nutella experience. Good stuff.
Yes. Also, I'd like to add that the mother of the bride is Dr. Chris Hallenberg. So there was doctors and professors and Matais. I mean, and Auntie looked beautiful too. She as well was
Yeah,
stunning, just like
stunning.
the bride. So
Good thing that we didn't bring, because you had forgot the microphone. We were going to do interviews with Malo.
yeah.
Right? And I was thinking, it's a good thing we didn't have anything with us, because it was like a target-rich environment for interviews.
Right.
Like every row was a new level of wow.
Yes,
wow.
yes. So, I mean, it was just, everybody looked, the food, okay, because I'm a food. It was just, the food was good. I had, there was vegetables, salmon, beef steak. I mean, they had like everything that you need
That
to
octopus,
eat, right?
too.
Yeah. So one of Leah's cousins, Annette, her mother, her and I were standing across from each other because there was a buffet.
Oh, so you're on each
We're
side
on
of the
each side
table?
of the table. And so I'm getting to the steak and I pick up the spoon or the fork to grab a piece of steak. And she goes, ooh, they have octopus. I dropped that fork so fast. And then she starts busting up. I'm like, you are just like your daughter, or your daughter is just, she's very funny. She was dying laughing. And then I was cracking up and she goes, you dropped that so fast. I was like, yeah, right when you said octopus, I was like, no, thank you. And so we were laughing, but it was a really beautiful. So when Ty first proposed to Leah, she was adamant. I'm not doing no Siva. I'm not. Nope.
She
was
probably made a point to say that 4 or 5 times.
a
with us.
million times. She
She's
said
like,
it a
"I'm not
million
doing
times.
it."
I'm not doing it. I'm
Ty's
never
okay
going
with
to.
it. Ty said he's okay with it.
Ty said
'cause
he's okay.
She would say it, and we'd all. I mean, I don't know how to roll my eyes. Naki knows how to roll her eyes. we would all go like, okay, like if you say
Yeah.
so.
So,
and
yeah.
then she started in with no, I've asked Ty, like Ty's okay with it. I don't
Yes.
have, because she knew what we were thinking.
Yes.
And so she was dead set, said this out loud at least 4 or 5 times with us.
And her and I have had private conversations where she's like, I'm telling you now, I am not doing a Siva Samoa. And in my head, I'm like, okay, we'll see, because when it gets time and closer to it, you're going to do it.
And to be truthful, I think she fully believed when she said that.
Yeah.
I think she believed that
Yes.
she was not
and
going to
Ty
do it.
totally was supporting her. He was like, if you don't want to do
Right.
it, you don't have to. It's so it was cute, but I knew she was
You're
going to
gonna
do
end up
it.
doing it.
Yeah, you're going to do it. So the night before the wedding, we were in where the ceremony was going on. And she's like, I just got done practicing my Siva Samoa dance, and I go, Miss, I ain't gonna do no Siva Samoa. She did the Siva Samoa. She was so great. I was like crying.
Graceful.
She was very graceful.
Elegant. Like,
Everything.
She's
Everything
a
and
dancer
perfect.
anyway. So
Right.
that was the talk,
Right.
Leah, just so you didn't know, when we talked about you not doing the Siva. Everybody was like, she's a dancer.
Right.
Like, she's so graceful anyway. It's going to it'll come to her easily.
Yeah.
And boy, did it ever.
Yeah. So she did a really good job, and she was just graceful. She was very graceful. She didn't look like someone, this is their first time doing
Right.
the Siva Samoa. So it was beautiful to watch her go full circle. So that was amazing. The cake, I believe the cake had Nutella in it. I'm not really sure, but I believe the cake had Nutella in it.
Yeah, it did. Confirmed. Now, here's something that I always will remember about Leah. Is that when we first met her?
Yes.
We met her at a Utopia meeting in February, right? Or was it Cafe Wellness?
I think it was Cafe. Well, I'm not really sure.
It was in
Yeah.
February.
Right.
And we met either at a Utopia meeting or Cafe Wellness. And she made a point of saying that she was shy. And I think within 30 days, that shy person was organizing a fundraiser event for Utopia. Not only organizing the fundraiser event, but she brought her brother in. Like, she ran the whole event.
Right.
She found the venue. She talked to the bar or to the venue. She got her brother to come in. That's the shy person. And I remember thinking, you're not, you don't seem very shy. I know you say you're shy.
Yeah.
And then she was talking about stranger danger and how she takes a long time for her to get comfortable with people. Met her in February. She said, can I crash your trip to Samoa in April? A big group of people she doesn't even know that she just met. And I was thinking, you're not, all these things that she says that she doesn't, do. And then, I'm not going to do the Siva. And she ends up doing it and again, killing it.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where we always say, if you're always comfortable, you're probably not growing. It's been really an honor to see her grow and put herself in comfortable in places and situations where she doesn't feel comfortable,
Right.
and do it, and not just do it, but when she was doing the Siva, I was so proud to see her out there and doing it well.
Yeah.
Because she's a dancer. She
But
dances. She has her in dance class. There's some of those times where she posts videos of her in dance class, and everybody's like, "You don't want to do a what dance? Like, you got moves."
Yeah, she's awesome. At that event, we met her family, and Auntie said, her mother said, I'm so glad she found her people because she's so outgoing.
Yeah.
But that's all I know her as, outgoing and outspoken. And she does have her moments where she's like stranger danger, but that's not what I know of her. So her mom was like, I can't believe, I'm so glad that she found you guys. Not us, just her
Right.
group of friends in San Francisco.
She was saying how introverted she
yeah,
was.
I
and
didn't see
doesn't
any of
like
that.
to, and we're like, we don't even know who.
Yeah.
That's not the one we met.
Right.
The one we
So-
met is organizing things and jumping on trips halfway across the world and going to places with people that,
Yeah.
But she obviously made, we made a connection
Yeah.
early on with
Yes,
her. But it's
yes.
been a cool ride to be on, to see her develop.
Yeah. So, yay. So, congratulations to the newlyweds. It was a beautiful wedding, and thank you for having us there. We left the next day after having breakfast, and then we went to the Nike outlet or the Nike company store and bought up a storm. And so it was I had never been there, and so we went, stopped there, and you have to be on a list. It's a family and friends store.
Yeah, so there's employees and family members of the employees.
Yeah.
And then there are guest passes for people that aren't or family or employees.
Yeah.
And I think I ended up spending $600 something in there. It was first time ever. I've had that family pass for years.
Yeah, I was
And
surprised that was your first time.
I've gone to local stores. I've gone to a store in Vegas. I've gone to a store in LA, obviously Sacramento, and gotten a discount and looked at shoes and those kind of things. Never been to the store. I've gotten family members passes to go into the store, but I'd never been there myself.
Yeah.
It was and it was good that we got in and out when we did, because that thing gets really packed later in the day, I guess, is what my brother was telling me, is that it gets extremely packed later.
Yeah, it was I was like, oh my God, I got to come back. And so they had stuff that they don't have at the regular stores. To me, they don't have some of the stuff.
The 11s were out.
And so we happened to run into Tony, who is a Pacific Islander woman who works there, and was so gracious to talk to us and tell us, the 12s are out, and but it's just for employees right now because it came out yesterday, so just the employees can purchase it. But I had a ball in there, picking up stuff. I got most of the stuff, and so there you go. I got lots of stuff, but mostly what I loved is I got my son is expecting his first child, and so I got to I'm not saying what the sex is, but I got baby stuff. I'm not telling the sex of the baby, but I know though. So I went and got baby stuff for my grandbaby, and the clothes were so cute, and so I got stuff. So there you go. Let me exit that conversation. But there you go. So there you go. That was me. Are we going to a break, or do you got some stuff you want to spill out?
No, I think a break is a good time.
Yes. So we're going to go to break. You're listening to the Faika Broadcast. We'll be right back. We're going to play Aradna, Forever Love. Come back to Faika with us.
It's a shame that you can't love me much as I do. Ooh, it's a shame that you can't love me much as I do. Love you, even though you I love you forever. Yes, it's forever. Even though you I love you forever. Yes, it's forever. It's forever love. It's forever love. It's forever love. I sure do love you. When I leave this world behind, I will be dying of food. Not even death could stop my love from chasing you. And it still hurts like hell to know you don't feel the same. Ooh, even though you I love you forever. Yes, it's forever. Even though you I love you forever.
Today, Koviki got his COVID-19 vaccine. That's because everyone 12 and older is now eligible for a vaccine. Kovika then found a vaccine location for his sister. His sister sent an appointment link to her best friend, who reminded her business partner, who then, well, you get the idea. And it all started today with Kovika. Tomorrow, it can start with you. It's time to let our friends and family know that vaccines prevent nearly 100% of hospitalizations and deaths from COVID. We can do this.
That was in partnership with We Can Do This, a campaign run by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. For more information, please go to www.vaccine.gov. Thank you, Kovika. Essence of Mana is offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community. It doesn't matter where you live because it's virtual. You just got to be willing to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks long. For more information or to register, you can hit up Lulu Masina at 415-243-6328 or El Masina at healthright360.org. They also have Talanoa Tuesday every week at 7 p.m., hosted by Sister Nani Wilson and Lulu Masina. Once again, that is Lulu Masina, El Masina at healthright360.org. And we were packing up for that, our trip northward during this Tuesday, Talanoa Tuesday, so I did not get to see it. Do you know who they had as a guest, Neki?
I did not.
We need to check that out because I like listening to each of those, and this was one of those ones where we were so busy trying to get ready for Wednesday that I missed out.
But the good thing about that is that you can go back and watch it.
Oh, so you can still listen to it now?
Yes. You just go to their page and you can watch it. So
it's the Essence of Mana page?
Essence of Mana Facebook page. So you can watch it anytime. Good morning. Epi Elmavai is on.
Good morning.
Epi. Fatma Malu Designs, who's been gracious enough to help us.
So one thing that I found out, and this is for you people that are losing weight, and I would say none of us are losing weight like your hubby hub. Mose is losing weight. He's 75 pounds down, 70 pounds?
Yeah, almost 70 pounds.
Almost 70 pounds down. So I've not lost 70 pounds, but I think I've lost around 25, 30 in the last year. But during that year, it's been during COVID. So I don't know the last time I put on a pair of dress pants. I've been in shorts the entire time. So I packed up 3 different EFI Kongas, different shirts, and a pair of dress pants and a pair of dress shoes.
Right.
So I get there and I'm getting ready for the wedding, and I just throw the pants on. And one of the things I forgot to do is bring a belt. So I put them on and the pants don't fit. Not only do they not fit, they won't even stay up.
Yeah.
And I figure, well, I'm just going to wear them and I'll keep my hands in like my pockets or something to keep my pants up. And when I stand up and walk around, I realize like they're going to fall straight down.
Yeah.
So a little known thing that people don't know is that if you have a MacBook Pro, it comes with a charging cable that's really long.
Right.
So you can unplug that from the brick and run it through your belt loops and then tie it into a knot.
So fobby.
And it holds up your pants. Then you just take the extra part of the charging cable and you stuff that in your pocket. And then your Aloha shirt covers all that up. So nobody will know that your pants would fall down if not for your Apple iMac charging cord.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So I was like, dude, your pants are way too big. Way too big. Good morning, Tammy. Tammy's checking in from Oregon. We tried to hook up with her yesterday. It was just our timing. We were just like crazy busy morning and the wedding.
And part of that was my fault. I'll just go ahead and admit that, Tammy.
Okay,
part of
go ahead.
Fault. Because I the whole time, and again having the discount for 5 years, not understanding this, I thought that the company store was in Eugene.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's pack up, let's get going, we'll get out of here, we'll get to Eugene by 10 somewhere, and then we'll stop, go in the store, do what we got to do, and then get on the road. And then I find out it's in Beaverton. It doesn't even open till 10. And so we're scrambling around because we didn't want to get home crazy late. We actually made it home at a pretty decent hour.
9 o'clock.
Did you get home like 10?
9 o'clock. I
got
got
home around 10?
Around 10, yeah.
A little bit after?
Yes.
So it all worked out, but that weirdness of not being in Eugene at 10 and still being in Portland or Beaverton was really messing with us. So we were like, we got to go.
Yeah.
So next time up, we're going to make plans before we get there.
Yeah, and we're definitely making a trip back to Portland, probably sooner than later, because that's where our executive director lives. So, so good morning to Brother George, who's on.
Good morning, George and Rebecca.
Good morning. So, yeah, Tammy will definitely be back, like probably 2-3 more times. Just because the executive director of Naopo lives.
That's where the ED lives.
That's where the ED lives. The boss lives. So we'll be over there. So yeah, it was a great week. I love Oregon. I got to do a lot of first time. You know, it was a beautiful drive. Everything was green. The weather, though, in Oregon was, I don't know, it was like 70-ish. It was 70-ish. And so everybody was like in shorts and tank tops. I was freezing. But, you know, where we live, it's 100, 105 to 110 degrees. So when we got to 70, I was like, brr.
We were walking around with hoodies and coats.
We had lunch with Malo at Grind with Triz. And we sat outside, and it was people were in summer clothes. And a good thing I stuck a hoodie in my backpack, because in the middle or the beginning of our lunch, I put my hoodie on and put the hood on. I was freezing. And that's just because we live in 100 to 110 degrees. So
it was the weather that if you were in the sun, you might be a little warm.
Right.
But if you're in the shade, you were cold.
Yeah.
And it was like our table was right at that shade break of if you're in the shade and the wind, a little bit of breeze comes through.
Right.
I was like, ooh, this is chilly.
Yeah.
But not anybody that you could tell who was from there.
Right. Everybody that was from there were like in short shorts, tank tops. And I was covered up the whole time. So it was a great weekend. We also got to see people that we hadn't seen in a while, and then we met a lot of amazing people at the wedding.
Naki had her. She didn't have her microphone out, but she did have her notepad out. She got some connections and some emails and those kind of things.
Yes.
We'll definitely have some guests on that resulting from attending that wedding.
Yes. Malo's nephew, Mac, he's graduated from Chaminade, works at the college. I mean, crazy amazing.
Really well spoken. I had a minute to sit with him at the reception and just, when you sit there and talk to somebody and you're like, oh, he's very knowledgeable. We need to get a microphone in front of this guy. Yeah.
So I got his email and phone number, and so he'll be on soon. Just a lot of people. I had a great time. I really did. So during the reception, Carl went up to snooze. He was done for the day. And then of course carried on with Evoli and Lena, who are the groom's cousins and family to me too. Mata was there, and Pauline. I hadn't seen Pauline in a while. Pauline was on the float when we went to the Utopia Parade 2018, 19.
It was after we came back from Samoa.
Yeah, so I got to see a lot of people, but I got to hang out with Evoli and Lena, and we were on the dance floor the rest of the night. And Manu was there. Who else? Faunga. I had a good time. Faunga, Malinga, and Ruby were there, and they're getting married next year, September. So it was good to get to talk to them. I mean, it was good to hang out with a lot of people. So we had a great time. All right, I got drunk. I don't even know how I got back to the hotel, but I was very, very good. Very good. So there you go. There's a new prime minister. Well, not a new. It's official. It's official now that the prime minister, it was in my opinion, it was a Trumpish kind of thing where the former prime minister was, claiming what?
Well, so it was a really close vote, and that's the difference. So here's the difference I see between Samoa and the United States, the U.S. election. It wasn't close in the U.S., like not even close. So the deficit that Trump beat Hillary Clinton by is this, and that was by a lot.
Yeah,
that was by a lot in 2016. was the same deficit that Biden defeated Trump. So it's not a close one delegate thing.
Yeah.
In Samoa, it was close.
It was very close. Yeah.
That's one of the difference between the two. But the similarity, to me, my opinion, is that I didn't like the result, so I'll take it to the court.
Yes.
And that's the similarity of I would have been okay with the way that things would happen if I won.
Yeah.
But since they didn't go my way, then I don't like the process.
Yeah.
Like the
I
process.
didn't like that either.
And that's what happened in Samoa, is that the former prime minister took it to court, lost, and then I think this was the appellate level or the final level.
Yeah.
And that decision came out, and I'm not going to go into, specifics and details and all that kind of thing, but it was confirmed. The thing that I'm pretty sure most people knew was that she had won, and now she officially, or
she's
whatever,
officially the prime
fast
minister.
party is in office.
Fiame Naomi Mataafa, head of the new Fa'atuatua Leatua Samoa Watasi Party, or FAST, F-A-S-T. So congratulations to the official prime minister, Fiame Naomi Mataafa. There you go.
Yeah.
This past week on Koviki Talk on Monday, we had Lehua Uakea, who spoke about the pandemic and arts, and that was on Monday.
Check that episode out.
It was really
it's on
good.
YouTube and our Facebook page. It was a really good conversation with a young lady who has got her mind straight. Like,
Definitely.
talking to her, there's some people that you talk to and you can tell they're kind of, well, I'm not positive, but like, this lady is driven. And,
and go check out the Facebook page. It's amazing, the artwork that Lehua has created, and is also selling her the work that Lehua does. So that's on our Facebook page, also right here on our Facebook Live. Tomorrow we're going to be having some of the staff of Papa'ola Lokahi. They've been heading up the NHPI 3R COVID team there in Hawaii. So they'll be coming on tomorrow at 5 p.m. on Monday. We're, again, YouTube and right here on our Facebook page. Did we talk about we transitioned over to Pacifica by Design?
We should talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
We are moving our name from Poly by Design to Pacifica by Design. Easiest way to remember that is PBD.
Right.
Much easier than trying to figure out what that is. We've always been PBD. One of the things we've always done is promote all of Pacifica. So Micronesian, Melanesian, Polynesian. It didn't matter. We just wanted positive role models to shine and push and promote. And that's what we've always done. Poly by Design originally referred to Naki and my genetic makeup were Polynesian.
Right.
So we are still Poly by Design. But in today's, and we had this happen where people were like, well, yeah, come on your show, but I'm Filipino. And, we were like, what? Yeah. Okay. I mean, it doesn't, we're looking for positive role models.
Right.
Positive role models that any Pacific Islander could look at and say, hey, I could do what they're doing. So to be inclusive, we're changing our name to Pacifica by Design, but the spirit and the intent of the company remain the same. We're just looking for role models that the Pacific Islander community can look at. And you don't have to be young to look at a role model. I look at plenty of the younger people that we have on our show and get inspired to do things with PBD, because that's my passion. So
there you go.
There you go.
Pacifica is it's the whole Pacific Islander Ocean. So it's all the islands in the Pacific Ocean. I'm just trying to divide like Palau, and I think it's inclusive of everyone, like you said.
Yeah.
I just
Chukis, Pompey.
Right.
Yep.
So that is that. What else do we have?
You got a gripe.
You have a gripe. Go ahead.
My gripe, and last week it was pet peeve. My pet peeve, and I remembered it because we were in the Nike store yesterday, and there was all this Dodgers stuff. Ooh. And to me, I don't like the Dodgers. I'm a Giants fan. So at first I was like, that's because I don't like the Dodgers. That's why that's bugging me. And the more we stayed in there, I was thinking, yeah, well, I mean, they won the the asterisk title last year with a 60-game season or whatever it was. To me, it doesn't really count, but
Right.
hey, is what it is. They played something called the World Series, and supposedly they won it. But I got beyond that, and what my gripe is that the Giants have been one of those teams where everybody's been waiting for them to melt down because they weren't any good last year. I mean, as a Giants fan, I can say they were not a good team last year. They were not a good team the year before. And as they developed into a good team this year, I think everybody was waiting for them to eventually flame out, like it's a not good team having a good 20-game run or something like that. It is the middle of July. The Giants are 61-37. They have the best record in baseball, and the media still won't talk about them. They're still talking about other teams. They're still waiting for the Giants to burn out, or at the All-Star break. I mean, it's time for the media to start talking about what team has the best record in baseball in the toughest division in baseball. I mean, I don't like the Dodgers at all. They're a great baseball team. They are, I don't know, a couple games, 2.5 back from the Giants right now. That's a great, there's the defending, quote, champions. I mean, there's some really good teams. San Diego's another good team. San Diego would be in first place if they were in the NL Central. It's time to talk about the Giants. That's my gripe. My gripe is they're getting no respect from ESPN and other media outlets. They ain't talking about my Giants enough. That's my gripe. What you got, Naki? What's your gripe?
My God. What is my gripe? It's not. It's more of me than anybody else. It's just like when I see PIs somewhere, I usually say hi to them just because there's so few of us in the United States of America that when I see another PI somewhere, I usually say hi. Hey, how you doing? And it's me, right? Like if I see them, I always say, hey, how are you? And they go.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah,
not all
sometimes, not all the time. But if I say hi to you, damn it, going out of my way to greet you. But it really is just me. It's on me. They don't know me. I'm a stranger to them. But I always think there's so few of us, so we should acknowledge one another just to say, I see you. But
there's a part of that that's just personal, right?
Right.
Like if I'm walking by and you're not PI, and I say, hey, how you doing? Like a head nod or a smile would be, that would be the normal.
Right.
Now, if you're PI, you end up having a different expectation with that. It's like a head nod would be like, well, at least it's a head, but why, So I think there is something to that. I mean, I always talk about the percentage of the population we make up is 0.4% of America. Yeah. That's less than half a person.
Right.
Yeah. So if I run across somebody that is obviously Pacific Islander, I'm probably going to smile, head nod.
Yeah.
What's up? How are you?
Yeah. I always, and it's totally on me that whenever I see a PI, I say hi, and when they don't say hi, now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess it's not going to bother me anymore because it's, they don't know who I am. But my reasoning for that is because there's so few of us, I like to acknowledge, I see you. So, and
it feels good.
And it feels good
when when we look at each other and, even just the eyebrow raise, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So and really, I do that to everybody. If we get eye contact, I'm like, hey, and Mo always says, like when we go to the store or we go somewhere, and I just start talking to people, and Mo always goes, do you have to talk to everybody? I was like, yes, I'm nosy. I want to know, what are they doing? Why are they here?
I got a show called Faika. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So it's. I guess it's a gripe for me, but really it's not really anybody irritating. It's me being the person irritated, just because if I'm being polite, I assume that it would be reciprocated, but that's okay.
Hey, your gripe is your gripe. And if you got somebody to blame it on the rain.
Yes.
Because the rain don't mind and the rain don't care.
Oh my God. The music that we played on our way down and during our whole trip, we were like, ooh, we were digging.
So we got into a discussion about Milli Vanilli, and we freely admit that we both like the music. It cheesy, top 40, whatever.
But
It's
I
catchy.
still like
It's
the
catchy.
song.
We like the song. We get that whatever their names are,
Robin, whatever.
Fab.
Fab.
Rob
Yes,
and
there
Fab.
you go.
If they didn't sing it, we get it.
Yeah.
But whoever did, that's some catchy, cheesy stuff.
Great
so
songs.
What do we end up doing? The whole way we were driving to lunch with Malo,
Mm-hmm.
we were listening to "Blame It on the Rain," "Girl, You Know It's True," and laughing at it, going, "Oh my God!"
Mm-hmm.
Like but we still listened to that music, and then by the
Yeah.
time we got home, we were way down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
we went from Milli Vanilli to Ice Cube to Yo-Yo, to Pat Benatar. Like we were
Linda
everywhere.
Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt. And we all the time we took turns like, okay, who do I play now? You know, Carl would pick an artist and I would pick an artist, and every time we were like, damn,
Way back.
way back. So it was kind of a fun ride trying to think of everybody. But yeah, Milli Vanilli was the big hit, I think, of our trip. So I and really I don't know why we started talking about it, but I was like, I feel sorry for them because they were supposedly paid to be the face of that
Right.
group, and they didn't sing, and they won a Grammy and had to give it back. And so I was like, that was all the record.
That's the record company. That's
Record
the label.
company.
The
That
label's the one that
label
put that
is
up to
at
that.
fault. Yeah.
And
Totally.
I remember hearing like Tone Loc, I think it was Terrence Trent D'Arby, whoever it was that were nominees that year for the
Right.
Grammy. They were all on tour together.
Yeah.
And specifically, I think it was, oh gosh, I can't remember, but one of them was like, you know, we knew when we were on tour that they're not singing.
Yeah.
But we couldn't say anything because we were nominees for the Grammy that they won.
Yes.
So it's just going to seem like, you know, we're bitter or sour grapes or something. So nobody said anything, and they continued on. They knew it. They knew everybody knew it on tour. But in '89, you know, there's no internet. There's not Twitter.
Right.
There's not like that
Right.
get busted out in a heartbeat right now.
right.
That could never happen now. But yeah, that's the label putting them out as frontmen and then leaving them out there. You know, but it was painful when they were like, you know, we could sing, and
I
then they
know.
started trying to
And
put
they
out
were
there, and they were
awful.
horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. But
but-
I like the music. So that was us. The music, I think our playlist was pretty
Oh, man.
pretty badass.
Pretty
so
broad.
so yeah, that was our trip. I don't see anything happening. Well, we're going to Washington D.C. At the end of August.
Going to the Hill.
Going to the Hill. Actually, going to go speak to
Congress.
senators and Congress, and
Congress
so I'm
people.
excited about that. Making moves. Not us personally, but Naopo. Naopo
We're going to be
is
in
doing
another room just like we were at Ty and Leah's wedding going,
Yeah.
wow, look at all these amazing
Look
people.
at all these amazing people. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're just a lot of stuff is happening, and so you'll find out more down the line, right? Epi is asking, how do I get a PBD t-shirt? Just inbox PBD or me, and I will help you with that. So there you go. I think we're good.
Speaking of Fama Malu Designs,
Mm-hmm.
we've used them recently. They are timely. They're
Oh my God.
creative.
Yeah.
They think things through. And did I say they're timely?
Yes.
They're extremely creative. They're Pacific Islander minded. It hits with our theme and our thought process of Shop Pacifica first.
Yes.
And did I say they're timely?
Very
oh
timely,
my gosh.
'cause-
It comes back in a quicker than you would think.
Yes.
And amazingly done. Like
Yes.
sometimes people get stuff back to you really quick and you're like, could you take in some more time?
Yeah, yeah.
Could you have done this a little better? Fatma Malu Designs, use them for your graphic artist needs, artistry needs.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you know how we do it. You know how PIs do it. I need this like within 2 hours, and it comes back in an hour.
Right. So yeah, definitely shop Pacifica. We always say that. I have 3 bird artistry earrings on, so please go follow them on Instagram. Follow Fatma Malo Designs on all social media outlets, and reach out if you need anything, graphic design stuff.
Stuff.
Flyers and posters and banners and T-shirts. They have T-shirts on Amazon, so go on Amazon and check out Fatma Malo T-shirts. I think we've got like 2 or 3 each, and then yeah,
I got to sneak a couple more in.
I know. So
I need like an approval process to get another shirt into my my wardrobe because I have so many Pacifica shirts.
No.
That my wife is like, one in, one out. It's just like a club that's full. You gotta wait for somebody to leave before you can get in.
Yes. So yeah, go check out Fatma Malo Designs. 3 Bird Artistry is where I've been getting my earrings, which I love her. Sister Florence. Good morning, sister. Happy Sunday.
Good morning, Flo.
Checking in on Facebook. So yeah, that's Shop Pacifica. We were all over Oregon, and so congratulations again to Mr. and Mrs. Tai Fatleava.
On their way to Reykjavik.
There you go.
They're going to Iceland.
They're going to Iceland for their honeymoon. So I'm excited to hear all about that. And she's going to be sending me pictures. So that'll be awesome.
Because when you live in Vacaville where it's 155 degrees,
you gotta go to the
honeymoon,
opposite.
Go to Iceland.
Yes. So the opposite end of the world. So there you go. That is us for this Sunday. Check us out tomorrow. Koviki Talk at 5 p.m. with Papa Ololokahi. On Wednesday, we'll have another Wayfinder's Lens, and Thursday, Wayfinder's Lens, where we will not be the hosts. Lucky you. Wednesday, we're on Island City. Please download the Dash Radio app. Search Island City and check us out Wednesday at 10 a.m. And we'll be back next Sunday at 10 a.m. So come back to FICA with us.
Love y'all.
That you can't love me much as I do. Ooh, it's a shame that you can't love me much as I do. Love you.